Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're going to unpack a really interesting piece of AV tech. It's the WolfPack 4K 30Hz 8x8 AV over IP PoE Matrix Switch. Quite a mouthful. Basically, we want to look at what it does and maybe some of those, aha features that make it stand out.
Exactly. And our mission today really is to get past the jargon on the spec sheet. We need to figure out how this system manages to give you flexible, large-scale video distribution for, well, what seems like a pretty competitive price point. It's just under $5,000 today. What makes it tick for, say, systems integrators?
Right. So at its heart, it's a matrix switcher, a true matrix. That means you can take any of the 8 inputs, send it to any of the 8 outputs, or, one input to all outputs if you want. And the critical part, it uses AV over IP video over Internet Protocol running just on standard CT6 cable.
Yeah, and that IP part plus the PoE, that's power over Ethernet, that's really foundational. It saves costs. You're sending 4K 30Hz HDMI video signals potentially up to 450 feet, all over that single CT6 cable. Think about that. For you designing the system, wiring gets way simpler. No need for power outlets at every TV.
Okay, but here's something that seems a bit counterintuitive. We're talking 4K video. That usually means huge bandwidth demands. Yet this system keeps its total network usage capped at 1 gigabit. How does it manage that without, sacrificing quality? Doesn't that usually require 10G networks?
That's the clever bit. It uses H.265 compression. It's efficient enough to handle that 4K signal, and it even supports 10-bit color high dynamic range, all within that 1G limit. So fundamentally, you're dodging the need for those really expensive 10G network upgrades. You can use existing 1G infrastructure. That's a massive advantage.
In speed. In places like sports bars or command centers, switching speed is everything. How does it stack up?
It performs well there. We're looking at seamless switching. The latency is around 80 milliseconds typically. But there's also a low latency mode that gets it down to about 50 milliseconds. So for the viewer, it feels pretty much instant.
Okay, and the hardware itself, is it flexible?
Very. The transmitters, the TX units, and the receivers, the RX units, they're actually the same physical box. You just use PC software to tell each box what its job is. TX or RX.
Oh, okay. So simpler inventory.
Exactly. And it's not just locked at 8x8 either. It's designed to be field expandable. You can scale this thing way up, well beyond 8x8. Think over 100 TVs if needed. It grows with your needs.
All right, let's talk about what really seems to set this apart, the control aspect. This wireless iPad and Android tablet real-time video preview. Tell me more about that. Is it just a nice to have or is it genuinely useful?
Oh, it's much more than a gimmick. It's a game changer for actually controlling the system day to day. See, most systems might show you a static picture, like a thumbnail, of your sources. This one shows you live, full-motion video of all your input sources simultaneously right there on your tablet.
Live video of all sources at once.
Yeah. Imagine you're running that sports bar again. Maybe you've got 12 satellite receivers showing 12 different games. You can literally see what's playing on every single one in real time on your iPad. Then tap to switch. That kind of confidence monitoring, knowing exactly what you're switching before you switch it, is huge for operations. Just one note, the preview stream itself on the tablet doesn't include the audio.
Got it. And beyond just switching, I heard it also handles video walls, so it's like a 2-in-1 box.
That's right. It functions as both your matrix switcher and an internal video wall processor. So you could easily set up, say, a 3x3 video wall using 9 displays. And importantly, especially for things like digital signage, the software supports rotating the image 90 degrees, 180, 270. That's crucial for portrait displays or creative layouts.
And it seems pretty well-rounded with other connections, too. KVM, USB.
Yep, comprehensive. You get separate KVM extension SO, keyboard, video, mouse control over the network, standard USB support too, and even RS-232 for controlling older equipment. Plus, the transmitter units have an HDMI loop-out port. That's really handy for local monitor right near your source rack, just to check signals.
Okay, and quickly, the vendor. This is a specific brand line, right?
Yes. WolfPack is exclusive to HDTV Supply, Inc. They're the ones guaranteeing that real-time tablet preview feature. They emphasize that it's unique to their offering. And WolfPack and WolfPad are their registered trademarks, so you know where it's coming from.
Okay, so let's wrap this up. What's the big picture for you, the listener? This system seems to offer pretty high-end, flexible 4K 30Hz video distribution. Its standout feature is definitely that control, especially the real-time video preview on a tablet. And it manages all this while, critically, keeping bandwidth needs sensible thanks to H.265, which keeps infrastructure costs down.
Right. And that leads to a final thought, maybe something provocative for you to consider. Since this system uses standard network switches, and you can cascade them to build basically a huge matrix, Think bigger than just video walls. How could this kind of massive, affordable scalability change how big places like campuses or large commercial buildings use their existing network? Not just for AV, but maybe for visualizing other kinds of real-time data in new ways. Something to mull over.